I stand in awe, standing in front of the most wonderful person on earth today. I feel so honored and privileged to say happy birthday to him personally in his presence. You have inspired us. You don't know who we are, where we grew up, but you touched our life. As young people, we looked up to you. You stood tall and made us feel stand tall. You rejected prejudices. You inspired us to do so. You rejected hatred. You inspired us to do so. You inspired us to love people, embrace peace, you inspired us to be brave, bold. You inspired us to be defiant. You inspired the whole world. Today, at your 91st birthday, it is such an experience to be in your presence on this stage, because I felt privileged to be living on this planet while you are with us. Today, this is more than what anybody can expect. You lifted people from their insignificance, gave people honor, dignity, irrespective of their race, color, religion. And you became the symbol of human spirit. You became the symbol of what best can a human being be. So you'll remain an inspiration for all time to come. You had your struggles. The world watched it. We watched it at a distance. We had our own struggles, little ones, but you inspired us nonetheless. Bangladesh has a massive poverty when it became an independent country. It was devastated by war and bloodshed. And on top of it, there was massive poverty. And then came the famine in Bangladesh in 1974. As a young teacher, teaching economics, telling the students that how wonderful that subject is, how elegant the theories are. And outside the classroom, the famine is raging. Then the frustrations come. What good these theories are if it is not working for people? So that's where one needs to be bold to shake off whatever there is in textbook, what is considered as so sacred, and go by the common sense, by the human spirit, to see if there is anything can be done as a human being without any reference to any textbook. That is the beginning of the story of our work, trying to do something in the next neighboring village, and trying to save from the clutches of moneylenders few people in the village who altogether borrowed only $27. So without any reference to any textbook, anybody's advice, I decided to lend this $27 to all those 42 people to return the money to the loan sharks so that they can be free. Then the excitement that it generated in the people caught me in. I thought, if you can make so many people so happy with such a small amount of money, why shouldn't I do more of it? So I wanted to do more of it. So I went to the bank located in the campus to propose to the bank, why don't the bank lend the money instead of the loan sharks? Bank immediately rejected the whole idea as if that was a joke. I was serious. They said it cannot be done, it is impossible. Madiba, you taught us there is nothing called impossible. So we went the journey to make it possible. We tried to lend money to the poor women in the village without collateral, without guarantee, so that they can go ahead with their life, generating some income by their own talent, their own creativity. And it worked. And ever since we have been expanding it. While the banks kept saying that it won't work, it will collapse. We kept saying we'll keep on doing until it collapses. It never collapsed. It grew stronger and stronger. Now it is all over the world, including in South Africa. Those who told us that it will collapse, they collapsed. And then we wanted to focus on women because we saw that money going to the family through women brought so much more benefit to the family than the same amount of money going to the family through men. The more we did it, the more opposition came to us. Men translated into religious opposition. Actually, it was a male opposition. They shouted at us. They condemned us by saying, you are destroying our culture. Our culture is keep the women at home. You are destroying them by taking them out, giving them money. They are not supposed to earn money. I said, you keep your culture. I am creating counterculture. And ever since, I felt so strongly, Culture is useless until it is supported by a counterculture. Culture creates people. People create culture. It's a two-way traffic. If people try to hide behind culture, that's a dead culture. Dead culture is good for the museum, not good for human society. Human society moves on, reinventing its own culture, taking the culture stage by stage. We defied that culture, which wanted to remain a dead culture. Today we have more than 8 million borrowers in Grameen Bank. 97% of them are women. They accepted that. We succeeded in having all the children in school. We hoped that they will finish primary school. But impossibles become possible so quickly before you know. Not only they completed primary school, they continued in high school. Grameen Bank kept giving them scholarships, giving them encouragement. Then they started coming to the universities. We immediately introduced education loan so that they don't have to stop there. Right now, there are 38,000 students with student loan in medical colleges, engineering colleges, universities. Some of them completed their PhDs. Sometimes they tell me, they ask me, can you find jobs for us? Because it's so difficult to find jobs in Bangladesh. So ever since I'm campaigning and promoting this idea, we tell them, look, you are Grameen Bank children. You don't think like other children. You should have a pledge, and every day repeat that pledge. And the pledge is, I shall never seek job in my life. My mission in life is to create jobs. I'm not a job seeker. I'm a job giver. I tell them, you are very special children because your mothers own a bank. Money is not your problem. We have stacks of money in the bank. So while in education, you just figure out how to make the best use of this money for you so that you can create jobs for many, many other children. Why should you be doing jobs for others? And they are taking it seriously. And today, we have a completely new generation of young people coming up. I go to the villages, meet these women who have been with Grameen Bank for 10 years, 15 years. And now I meet a young girl with her. A very smart-looking young girl. So I asked her, what do you do? I thought she may be working with her mother or something. She says, I'm a medical doctor. That wakes me up. Because her mother sent to her school, she gone through the whole process, got the education loan and finished her medical education. And she's now practicing in the neighboring town. She came home to see me because I'm visiting her home. Very happy. Her mother is very happy. Then immediately a thought comes to your mind, looking at both mother and the daughter. Her mother could have been a doctor too. There's nothing wrong with her mother. but nobody gave her a chance. Only chance her daughter got because she joined Grameen Bank, earned her life, sent her daughter to school, and that same bank sent her daughter to medical school. That's all the difference it is. Then you conclude poverty is not in the person. There's nothing wrong with the poor people. They're as capable as anybody else. Simply the society never gave them a chance. Poverty is not created by the poor people, it's created by the system, by the institutions that we have built. Like, see the banking institution? It doesn't lend money to the poor people. Not only poor people, it doesn't lend money to two-thirds of the population. What kind of institution is that? They used to say, you cannot get the money back. Today, Grameen Bank and every other institution all over the world have shown they are the ones who are actually paying back. Why don't you do it? There's no answer. So that's where the root of poverty. Because you made an institution which made sure some people remain deprived. They cannot bring out their creativity. If you fix that institution, people will bring their creativity. Their children will become much more capable than their parents were. And then policies are responsible. Only thing we can afford for the poor people, because we think nothing else can be done, give them some charity. Personally, we give them charity. The state gives them charity. I think that's where we went wrong. Charity is no solution for poverty. Charity freezes poverty, imprisons people. It takes away initiative from people. The responsibility of the society is to create opportunities, support them by institutions so that they can fight for their life. Giving challenges to people excites people. Human life is all about taking challenges. It happens. And then concept is responsible. And I particularly focus on the concept of business. You notice there is only one concept of business in the whole world. Business is to make money. There is no other concept. Whole mission of business is to maximize profit. I said, did the theoreticians who built this theory consider human being as some kind of a one-dimensional being? All they do in their life, just make money? But the real human beings are not one-dimensional beings. They're multidimensional beings. They want to do a lot of things. How come in the economic world we cut off the other part of human being and just concentrated on one? That's where we went wrong. I keep reminding that we have selfishness in us. On the basis of selfishness, whole theory of business has been built up because we want to bring everything to us. I said at the same time, we have selflessness in us. What about business on the basis of selflessness? We can create a business on the basis of selflessness, where we do business to make a change in the world, not change in myself. And I'm calling it social business. And people say, this is crazy, this won't work. People are not like that. I says, I'm not crazy, all people are crazy. I'm talking about investing money in a social business. But people give away their money. Some people give away thousands of dollars. Some people give away millions of dollars. Some even give away billions of dollars. You don't call them crazy. How come when I say you invest money in a social business, suddenly I become crazy? This is the most appropriate thing to do. If we had done that, we could reduce all the problems that we have. We can solve all the problems we have. We can create social business to address poverty. We can create social business to bring drinking water to people, safe drinking water. We can create social business to bring nutrition to people, particularly children. And we have done that in Bangladesh. We created companies after companies. Whenever I see a problem, I immediately go and create a company. And that's what I did all my life. To solve that problem, not for making money for myself. I don't own any one of those companies. I don't own a share of it. But these companies are dedicated to solve the problem. Now, some of the companies became very well known because we have joint venture with big companies like Danone. We have a company called Grameen Company, which produces yogurt in Bangladesh. It's a social business. Danone has promised it will never take any dividend out of it. We have agreed on that. Because this company is dedicated to bring nutrition to the malnourished children in Bangladesh. There are millions of malnourished children in Bangladesh. So we produce the yogurt and put all the micronutrients in the yogurt, vitamin, iron, zinc, iodine, in the right proportion, and make it very delicious. Children love it. If a child eats 2 cups of this yogurt each week and continues to do so over 8 to 9 months, he or she regains all the micronutrients he was missing and becomes a healthy, playful child. Why can't we do it as a business? So we can create a lot of social businesses. We are in the process of making many. Anybody here can do it. Any person can create a social business. Any person who is willing to create that one social business will be, I will create a business to employ 5 unemployed people. I don't want to make money out of this company. I created this company so that 5 unemployed people can work there. If I create a social business like that, and you create a social business like that, look how many unemployed people will get employed. You don't have to wait for the government to do it. We citizens are no less capable than the government. We can solve our problems. If I have found a way to solve the problem of 5 unemployed people, I developed a seed. Now all you have to do is to plant the seeds again and again, spread it out, unemployment problem is solved. I can create a social business to bring health care to the sick in a social business way, in a business way. I don't want to make money. I want to make sure people get healthy as a business way. So we are in the process. Every single company, along with the profit-making company they run, can create a social business. There are many areas companies don't want to operate because operation there doesn't bring them more profit. So they don't work. If that company can create a social business to operate there, because some people will be employed and the people there will get the service. You created that not for making money, because this is a separate company which doesn't want any profit. The same company exactly doing the same thing, but under a social business. Can be done. So imagine how many different social businesses we can create. And I keep saying, if we change all these institutions, all these concepts, we can create a completely different kind of world. And this is the right time to do that, because this economic crisis, the financial crisis that we have, suddenly awaken us. This system is not working. When the system is not working, that's the best time to undo things and build it a new way. And this is just a good time. And financial crisis, on top of the food crisis, energy crisis, environmental crisis, social crisis, these are all combined. Isn't it the time we wake up and redo things? These are the things we have to redo. And this is the 20th year. This is the 20th anniversary of the fall of Berlin Wall. This year we'll be celebrating that. That wall was torn down, not by the high explosives, not by any military power, just by citizens got together and a lot of happiness chipped away the whole wall. Many of them were carrying their children on their shoulder. That's the people power. If we can make this wall fall, which everybody thought was impossible, it will never go away, it will disappear. We can make this wall of poverty fall, just like that. It will disappear. It is the 40th anniversary of the landing on the moon. Remember that landing on the moon? Nobody believed. It's still there in Bangladesh. Many people don't believe it. They say it's a Hollywood movie. So impossible. After 40 years, you couldn't convince them. But that crazy idea, people expressed that impossible idea and made it happen in a few years' time. If we can go all the way to land on the moon, can't we just go to our neighbor's house? Is it that impossible? If it is impossible, that is the thing we must do. Because that's what we enjoy, doing the impossibles. We have done so many impossible things. Let's do these impossible things too. And this is Madiba's 91st birthday. The man who brought end to apartheid. Everybody said it won't be done. It was impossible. He made it possible. You made it possible. We got rid of colonialism. Everybody thought it's impossible. We got rid of slavery. Everybody thought it's impossible. We got rid of apartheid. Everybody says it's impossible. Isn't it fun now? We do all the impossible things. Let's take the next impossible thing and do it with joy and get it finished. And I talk about creating a world free from poverty. There'll be no poor person. Human journey began from Africa. Let's make, on behalf of Africa, let's make South Africa the first country in the world to become a country where there is not a single poor person alive. And let's do it fast, in 20 years. You are laughing because it's impossible. That's why it will be done. After 20 years, we'll put ad in the newspapers and televisions and radio. If you can find one poor person in South Africa, $1 million award. And nobody will find it. Then South Africa will be the first country to create the Poverty Museum. Because there is no poor people anymore. Our children will go there to see how they did it What was the poverty like? Because they don't see it anywhere. And that's what we should aim at and make it happen. Thank you very much.